Thank you for clicking on the video. Welcome back to the channel. This is another review for Snowfall Season 6, Episode 2, The Sit Down. So 24 hours ago, Latin friend, he called Miss Lady in her car. You know, when Teddy Reed came over the walkie-talkie. She runs away. And then she falls and hits her head. While she's walking back on the main road, she gets stopped by the police. Immigration gone and snatch her right on up. Poor thing. Teddy Reed, when he finally shows up, you know, and gets her out, he takes her home. You know, before he gets out the car, he asked her if she got a good look at the guy. Excuse me. That was chasing her before she fell, and she says yes, so she can give a good description. Jerome, he at the bar with Louie, and she asked, you know, how ugly did it get? And he says, I think I might have killed her. Now he all tearful. But you ain't had to do all that. You know, because she like, do you believe her? Yeah, he believe her. He know Thelma and Louise would have said something if that's what it was. He would have said something, but he didn't say anything, which... I mean, they didn't say anything, which should have showed him that they were being honest. They really didn't know, or they really don't know where the stash house is. At the hospital, oh, for crying out loud. At the hospital, Franklin shows up, and Louise says she ain't heard nothing from the doctors yet. He asked if it was, you know, Big D. It wasn't him, but he damn sure told somebody where we was going to be. You know, they know it's Jerome. The doctors come back, and, you know, it was nothing left that they could do for Thelma. So she did pass. Excuse me, poor Louise. She just broke down. That's her girl. That lady was a mother. Anyway, Sissy, she drops by Franklin's house. You know, they headed to the library to meet the Latin friend. I think his name is Hans. I can stop calling him the Latin friend. I think his name is Hans. Anyway, Mama knows, you know, she knows something is wrong. So before they go, she kind of checks in with him, you know, checks in with his mental. You need to be in the right mental capacity before we go in here with these folk. The DEA, they meet with Gustavo. It's three of them, though, and it kind of makes Gustavo uncomfortable. They're like, listen, we scared to come up missing, fooling with you. So, yeah, we all gonna be going around here for the meet. Teddy Reed and Miss Lady, they are, you know, and her apartment's so damn dark. Like, turn the lights on in there. Anyway, they meet. She feeling a little bit better. Teddy Reed, he got some lady in there. And at first I didn't know who she was, but she was a sketch artist. He got the sketch artist in there. So whenever she's feeling up to it, she's going to, you know, give the lady her description. Sissy and Franklin, they meet Hans. And, you know, Franklin and Hans, they go for a walk. Hans kind of shares his vision with Franklin, you know, about what's going on. For Franklin, he wants Teddy, you know, but he wants Teddy Reed alive. Hans says that he needs proof that the CIA have been funneling drugs and guns into the United States. Franklin asks, you know, what you need. You know, he says that he would need to see the CIA agent with the product, you know, and large amounts of cash. That's what he's gonna have to catch him with. Franklin doesn't know where he keeps his stash. He's saying he's also not my distributor anymore. Like he ain't even working with me no more, but I do know his new client, you know, my aunt and uncle. Hans, you know, he says he needs to know the full scope of the relationship between him and Teddy Reed. He needs to know everything, starting from the beginning, like where y'all met, how y'all met, all of that. And Franklin tells him everything. On the ride home, Sissy, you know, she want to know what was all said. And she asked him, what do you want to see happen, you know, after all of this? And Franklin just wants his money back. He wants to live the life that he was so close to living and so close to having before all of his money was stolen from him. Sissy, she asks, you know, if he thinks that fighting Jerome and Louis is going to get him any of that. Like, well, you think that's going to help? And Franklin says that he ain't letting nobody get in his way, so take that how you take that. Sissy says, did it ever occur to you that this was the plan for us to be at odds, for us to take each other out, to wipe one another out so that he doesn't have to? And Franklin thinks, it's too late to turn back now anyway. Pandora's box is open. It just is what it is. And she says that if she can unlock the door, would you walk through it? Would you meet with Jerome? And he says, yes, he'll do it. Franklin and girlfriend, they at the house. She want to know what happens next. You hit back at Jerome, and then they hit back at us, and then we just keep doing that until everybody's dead, huh? She gonna keep doing the guilt trip on him. Franklin tells her his mother also thinks that it's time for him to sit down with Jerome, which isn't a bad idea. Then he gets a page from Kane saying that he's awake and he want to talk, so he gonna go, he headed out. He kissed girlfriend on the hand and tell her he love her, and she like, you love me? You love me, huh? You want to repay me for what I just did for us? Well, then swallow your pride and go make peace with your family. When he leaves, she gets a page, and so she calls the number back, and then she starts speaking to somebody in Swahili. She starts speaking another language. I don't know what it was. I'm like, did she call somebody in Africa? She was talking to somebody. Jerome and Louis, they go and meet with their St. Louis connect, and he's deaf. And I guess the guy is asking, what happened to the warehouse, and Jerome talking about some had rats. Had rats. Oh, he can't hear you. He cannot hear you. You can say what you're saying as loud as you want. He ain't gonna hear it. Anyway, the man say he got to get back to St. Louis. He ain't got time for none of this, all this mess they got going on. Jerome and Louis, they promise, that they gonna have it, give them 24 hours. And everybody start getting alerts on their beepers or whatever, and it's about Kane being awake. So in the hospital, Kane want to know, right damn now, where is Jerome and Louis? Show me where they at, where they stand. I need to know. And find Cocaine Bowl too with his tech head ass, because he the one who shot Kane. The DEA and Gustavo, they're at the location. They ready to set up Teddy Reed. And Gustavo, he takes them to the house, and underneath there's this tunnel that's where they've been tunneling everything in and out. And while they're under there, Gustavo gets a page from Teddy Reed, so he has to call him back. And the guy, first he says he's gonna tell him that he's with his family, and the guy like, keep it simple. Like, you gonna keep giving him alibis he got to check out. Tell him you're here. Tell him that there's a maintenance issue that you had to fix in the tunnel. That won't alarm him. And I don't know if it does, but he does tell him, something was going on with the lights. Teddy asked him, leave from there and meet me at the warehouse. I got something I want to talk to you about. Whole time Teddy Reed holding this sketch, of Hans. And it's like, Miss Lady, she ain't forgetting no details. I mean, the sketch was spot on. Looked just like Hans. The DEA, they come back upstairs, asking if everything went okay. Gustavo wants to know if did y'all take care of that hospital situation? Did you take care of my alibi? And he says it was we took care of that. We took care of it today. Gustavo like, listen, he loses his patience because don't play with me. Did you do it or did you not do it? He's starting to get paranoid. Jerome and Louis, they drop by Stacy's house. Stacy in there is still on the shrooms. He's still on his spiritual journey. He high as hell though. It's obvious. While he's there, Jerome keeps getting paged, and he's like, you gonna call your sister back? That's family. Call her back. So she says she making Sunday dinner, and she wants them to come. So Stacy is like, yeah, go on and fix that shit. Fix it. Fix the problems with your family, before and OG, before Karma step in. When they leave, Louis, she knows that it was Franklin, that told Kane that there was a hit put out on him, or that they tried to kill him. She already knows that it was Franklin. Girlfriend, she meets her mother in China, so it was her mama that she was calling. Her mama at the casino running a scam. She needs her mother's help getting the money back. And when her mama hear that it's 73 million in the bank, she down. She ready to help. She like, oh, talk more. What say what now? How you need me to get it back? How you need it? Franklin, he dropped by Louis' house, and she tells him that that don't make sense. Oh, he wasn't at Louis' house. That's why that note didn't make sense to me. I put Louis, but he wasn't at Louis' house. He was at Louise's house. He dropped by Louise's house, after Thelma's passing, and checking on her and the kids, because she done took on Thelma's kids. She tells him that she out. She out. She out the game. They had a pact that if something happened to either one of them, they would get out cold turkey, take the kids, and that's that. So she out. Sorry. Sorry, Franklin. No more Thelma and Louise. He just leaves. Her son he done came in the house asking about her, like when she coming back. So she hasn't even told him yet. It's just a real sad situation. Jerome, he show up for Sunday dinner. It's just the two of them. She tells him, I need you to be the uncle that I know you are, and stop this madness. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? Franklin and girlfriend, they discussing their options. She wants him to sit with her mother. He don't really see it for her mother because of the stories that she's told him. But she may be able to help, so he better sit down with her. Teddy Reed, he shows up. He shows Gustavo the sketch of Hans. And Gustavo say he doesn't recognize him. Teddy is like, listen, I need you to make sure. Are you sure? Are you sure? Cause I feel like this guy is gonna be a big problem, and he just out there in the wind. Are you sure you ain't never seen him? Franklin, he meets with girlfriend mama. Her name Cassandra. She being all casual. It's like, girl, what do you want? Okay. Cause Franklin being real short with her. Like she wasting his time. She gets to her bottom line. She says, if this is going to work, if it does work, I get 20%. Franklin's like, absolutely not. And he gets up to leave. But she knows that she can help, and he needs the help. So sit your ass back down. She says she knows where to look. He tells her the finder's fee is normally just 5%. She's like, this isn't a typical situation, though. So you're not finna talk to me about no typical, what you typically would do. Because this ain't no typical situation. She's going to need a week and 2 tickets to Panama. If it all works out, how about 10%? How about that? Gustavo, he gets home, and he get home to an empty house. He still has that sketch. He looking at it, and he's starting to recognize the man. He goes to the refrigerator, and he sees the man standing in the back of a picture. The picture he took at Jerome and Louis' wedding. So he has seen Hans before. Hans, he's meeting with his handler, and they're listening in on Franklin's testimony. They want to start with some surveillance on Gustavo. They're like, he gonna lead us right to Teddy Reed. There's one last shipment of guns headed to Costa Rica, so they want to intercept the shipment. Franklin, he goes to this wrestling match to meet Gustavo and talk to him. Gustavo then called him to meet. He gives him the sketch, and Franklin is like, I want Teddy Reed. That's what I'm worried about. I want Teddy Reed first, and then we can worry about what Hans got to do. Cause he's asking Franklin if he knows who Hans is, and Franklin's thing is, I'll give you what I got on him when you help me with this. He said, you help me get my money back, and I'll make you rich, $10 million rich. Gustavo is like, then first you tell me who this man is and why he's after me and Teddy, and then I'll help. Franklin says, you give up Teddy Reed first, and then then we can talk about this other stuff. Gustavo is like, how can I trust you? And Franklin says, I know where you recognize him from. That's how. I know you saw him down to the wedding, right? Yeah, me too. He tells him to be careful, just waving this picture around because you don't know who this man worked for. Be careful with that. Call me when you ready to do stuff my way, okay? Sissy, she drops by the VA building, the one that her husband used to run. The crackheads out front. She go inside. She finna spruce it up. She gonna fix the place up. Franklin finally meets with Jerome at a diner. Franklin wants to call it square. And Jerome tells him, this story about, how he got to LA. He tells the tale of he and Sissy struggling, after Franklin's father basically abandoned them, for the bottle and the drugs and all of that. And he had to step up and be a father to Franklin. He always said that he was going to raise him right. He would be a man that he was going to be the man that was going to raise him. Watching him grow into a man, it made him feel proud. But now, there's a but now I wonder, how the fuck did where did I go wrong with you? How did I mess this up so bad? How did you become such a scandalous bitch made nigga that you are right now? How did you become that? Franklin says, the way I see it, everything you have is because of me. Jerome is like, what I got, nephew? What I got? Bodies on me? What I got? Cops, the CIA after me? Your mama losing her damn mind? What I got, Franklin? Franklin tells him that you were going nowhere, doing nothing, selling dime bags of weed, waiting for your bitch to come down from her heroin high. I said, oh no, Franklin. Franklin went there, okay? He went there. Franklin says that, he tried to give him some legacy. I tried to give you legacy. And if you hadn't let yourself get played by that trick you married, you might have had it. Jerome bitch slaps him just like this. Doop! Twice. He gave him one like this and then came back around with it. Because who you talking to? Watch your goddamn mouth. Franklin, get up, because bitch made nigga gonna pull a gun. They gonna always pull a gun because you bitch made. You can't take the words. You mad. So he get up and pull his gun on Jerome. And Jerome say, you better do it. Do it. End this shit right now. Ah! That's all Franklin got. That's all he got. He just walk out. Jerome stands up, noticing, all the families in the place. Everybody all scared. His children. Yeah, you slipping in the darkness. And they started playing that song, and I just love it. I just love when the songs are just perfect for the moment. Because, yes, Jerome, you slipping in the darkness. You slipping in the darkness. Franklin walks out the diner. He heads to his car, mad as hell. He starts beep, 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 beeping on the horn. He started beating up the horn. Slipping in the darkness. Yes, that's my jam. I was jamming. That was it. Until next time. Until we return. Louis is the problem, y'all. And I really used to love Louis' character. Not to say that I got a problem with her now, but she's the reason. She's the reason. She drug him into this, because he was fine just being the weed man. He was cool with just being the weed man. She had to have more. I think her character is loosely based off of, I can't think of that lady's name. She was like the queen pin of cocaine back in the 90s, late 80s. I can't think of her name. I can just see her face. And I want to say was she in California or Miami? I can't remember now. Anyway, either way it goes, her character is loosely based off of a real woman, a real drug queen pen, um, who really had a whole empire. Really had a whole empire. She just couldn't. It was selling weed wasn't enough. Sis was moving bricks, bricks. Okay, all white bricks, white tan bricks. Hey, that was my shit too. Y'all remember that song? Anyway, that was it. Be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.